cheers to episode 82. This is I don't want you guys to bully me when you see this drink.
Is this a Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew Zero.
You're drinking
Watching
a
your
Mountain
figure. Watching
Dew.
your figure.
Zero sugar, like Evan said, watching my figure.
It's a 9 to 5 getting to you, Grant. You need caffeine to stay up past 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in Minnesota.
It's just water's so boring, and I love pop. There, I said it.
Listen, it's good. It tastes good. It's just bad.
And zero sugar, though, it makes me think it's like a vitamin water.
At least you're not Mr. Laney, drinking 5 a day.
Evan, what'd you say?
Your Star Wars cup.
Did you say
Nothing,
water?
I didn't say anything. I'm drinking water, unfortunately,
Alex,
yes.
Wine?
I got
what kind
some
of red
vino.
wine? Some peanut newer?
It's
Was that a peanut? Cabernet.
It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
It's not Snoop Dogg, is it?
No, it's Robert Mondavi. It was a gift from my parents for watching their house and dog.
Wow.
For watching Conehead?
Yeah, watching Conehead.
For them ripping you a new one for no reason?
Yeah.
Well, you missed the
They
feeding
did
window.
apologize for that.
For the birth control. Welcome.
What?
Remember we joked like you didn't get the medicine on a certain time window? I was like, what is it, birth control?
No, I don't remember that. We talk a lot.
Jeez.
We have Dan Campbell on the show today.
Yeah, Evan joining us. For those that, well, there is no visual version of this podcast, but we have Dan Campbell on the show today. When you see it in the clips, you'll see why. Just that is Dan Campbell's fit pretty much every day. Something about the black hat, which we complimented
you really
Evan
do
on,
look like Dan
and he
Campbell.
brought it back tonight. That's
Have you ever worn that hat before, Evan?
Yes, dude.
Stop it.
I have the same one right over there. You want me to put it on?
I have the same one too. I don't want to put mine on. Mine kind of
It's a
smells. I need a new
Nike
one.
black hat. Everyone should have one.
Yep.
It's a great hat.
Can't go wrong.
Welcome in. It's August to the number one sports podcast in Michigan. It's Wednesday, August 3rd. It is 8:05 p.m. We're pretty much in the dog days, they say, of summer.
Football is back. It is August.
But it's
Evan,
not yet, though.
And Evan, the pads are on. The pads are on. We're hearing thuds.
Alex, there's NFL football on tomorrow on NBC.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is not playing.
Kyle Slaughterhouse will be playing for the Jaguars, I believe.
I don't care.
Slaughterhouse.
I will watch at least the first quarter of it.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
going to watch it.
I will probably fall asleep to it.
I'll try. Remember, never forget when the high school field in Canton, they make hostess, the turf was messed up that one year, and they couldn't do
The
it.
paint hardened. You know?
Yeah.
I think the worst part about this time of year, it's like, so yes, there is a game tomorrow, and then we're all going to turn it on, and then like maybe a quarter through, we're going to be like, God, this sucks, dude. This is nowhere even remotely close to what we want to watch. Like, who are these dudes?
I think we also need to talk about mentally prepare ourselves right now that, and this is more in Evan's realm, the announcement booths have totally shifted this year.
Mm-hmm.
You will not hear Al Michaels tomorrow night, I don't believe, because he's not on NBC anymore, which just feels wrong to say.
So
but
who
he's
is
not.
Tirico?
Oh, it's Tarico.
And Collinsworth still. So
Are
I'm
they
the
going to
two.
do the slide in?
Mike
I think
Tirico should
so.
do the slide in now.
People forget Mike Tirico. Well,
Bad
just
person
read
at
the just read.
ESPN.
No, not a bad guy, but if you read the
Creepy.
ESPN book, the behind the scenes book, Mike
He loves
Tirico's
women.
a flirtatious man. That's all. That's all the book told me.
Loves women.
Yeah.
Him and
Today's
Deshaun
show.
Watson.
Today's show.
Evan.
Weekly
Not that
check-ins.
much.
Weekly check-ins. What's gone on in our lives since last show. Topic 1 will be kind of a quick hitting around the horn type of topic. Lions training camp, observations from the limited stuff we've seen or read. Tigers made some moves.
Bad ones.
And another campaign that needs to be talked about is The Athletic. I want to check in on Alex's subscription model right now because there hasn't been an update with that. And then another topic will be the defense. So as we did, if you listened to last week's show, we did Michigan and Michigan State football offensive preview. We will now be touching the defensive side of the ball, what wins championships. So we will get into that as well on this show. So without further ado, Evan, you'll go first. I'll go second. Alex, who has the invite to discuss, he will cap off this weekly check-in. So, Evan, how was your week? What's new with you?
Nothing really. This is one of the weekends where I actually didn't really do much. Friday, nothing really of anything. Hung out with some friends.
In Settlers Cove.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
What were you doing there?
I was playing trivia and drinking.
How do you know he's there, Alex? You stalking him?
I just happened to notice it on my friends.
Oh.
And I couldn't remember whose place
I think that was Saturday night, right?
I don't know.
It
might
was
have been
Saturday.
Sunday morning.
Saturday day. Well, I woke up there Sunday morning and I had to go to work.
I think I was checking to see where my golf partner was, and that's why I saw Evan's location.
Saturday, made a day trip up to East Lansing. Just reminded me of how much I miss that place. I miss the campus.
Darty?
Talk about that nastiness.
Okay, I'm getting there. So I did a recon mission as the college football experts we are. Did a recon mission around Michigan State. Okay, they are in the process of tearing down and rebuilding. Time as a football building center. Confirmed. There was a bulldozer working Saturday around noon.
Are you applying for Colton Pouncey's opening? Is this what this is, right?
I'm available.
The application.
Also, made a quick turn down, I don't even remember what the road is, and I should know it. Whatever. Drove by the football building.
Shaw Lane.
Drove by the football building, and there were probably
look at you.
10 golf carts just lined up, just full of recruits. Just making their tour.
Spartan Dog Con.
Pancake Honcho?
There were hundreds of people on the sidewalk when I drove by. I drove by probably at the most perfect time. I saw everybody out there.
You see Tony Lippett?
I did not.
If you do, just give him like a sock to sign for Grant. $2,000.
$2,000.
Everyone was just kind of just like high five and buddy. Made my way to my apartment. Had to move out. The final few things I had. The big 8-foot board that's painted yellow that says 2 words on it.
Michigan State Police.
F Michigan.
Yep. It doesn't say Michigan State Police. It says MSU.
MSU Police. Wasn't stolen.
Nope. I made an absolute replica and carried it from...
No, Evan. You donated money for that.
Senior year art project.
Yes. Actually, I didn't carry it. Friend of the podcast, Mint Money did. Attack them. And moved out. And as soon as I walked into this apartment, just how absolutely disgusting it was.
Oh, no.
And just how much just common sense to just, clean up after yourself. Just dirt, filth, extra food left over all over the kitchen countertop, all over the island. There was probably a pizza box sitting on a coffee room table that had to be there for over a week. That pizza was disgusting when I looked inside of that.
Don't forget the wacky tobacco.
When I walked in, it just hit me like a brick wall. I don't care if you do it. Hand up, I'm pretty sure we all have.
Checks out.
It's legal.
Yes, but it hit me like a brick wall. I think I instantly got high as soon as I walked in there.
Contact.
Just walked in, boom, knocked me out. I was like, okay, this is what these people do.
The living room was a bong. It was a metaphorical bong.
I mean,
For context, these are subleasers.
They are subleasers.
Oh, really?
Not my past roommates.
Correct. Okay, I didn't know if we were just you were just talking smack about.
No, these are random people.
All right.
Random people.
Screw them then.
They left whatever they probably did it that morning or the night of. They just left it on the island. I could have just gone up there and rolled one myself if I really wanted to.
Do you know how to though?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
And so I'm cleaning up. I have my last.
We're a bunch of narcs.
My last still stuff I have to carry to my car. I'm basically done. I'm carrying my stuff. All of a sudden I hear just a little female voice. Hello? I turn around. What the? I was like, I'm moving out. No worries. I'm almost done soon. I'm trying not to talk to anybody. And she says some sentence. No idea what she said. I'm just like, yeah, that's okay. Go ahead. I have no idea what she said. She could have said I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, crap. Bleep. You gotta leave that.
And then she just starts making something in the microwave. And while I'm like struggling, walking by, trying to get out the door. I have a chair. I have like 2 baskets that I'm carrying on.
I'm getting awkward just like picturing this situation.
Oh yeah, man. I shut the door. And I'm like,
just that awkwardness.
Did you walk by? I love what you've done with the place.
I should have said that.
Are you guys using a different
nice.
Febreze? I mean, it smells great in here.
Smells like evergreens in here and pine needles.
Yeah, I mean,
Smells a little skunky, actually, a little bit. So that was my highlight. Golf league on Monday.
There you go.
It went well.
Oh, you played all
didn't
right.
shoot
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, first 2 holes, I couldn't chip. I always say that. I could not chip to save my life.
can't we all not?
Yeah. Other than that, everything else was pretty solid, pretty decent. But we took points, won by a lot.
Helps me out in the process.
You're welcome.
You got
Took
like
out
what?
for 3rd place.
4 weeks left?
3 weeks now.
It's heating up for Team Gillen, let me tell you.
3 weeks now. 2 regular season games and 1 last final position night.
The Gillens are peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
We're that hot team that's about to win the Big Ten tournament and roll to the Final Four.
So like the Hoosiers.
No, way better than that.
Okay. You kind of look like Miller Kopp. I feel like that's a good comparison.
No. He's like 5
right.
inches taller than me and has brown hair. He's kind of bulky.
Yeah, he's sneaky big. My week, big picture, hit me as I was preparing for the show. My life recaps are significantly more boring post-move. There's just not a lot, but it gives me good creativity just to have these random thoughts of things to share. So what I was thinking about over this past weekend is, do you guys ever think about how dirty our phone cases get if you use a phone case?
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Honestly.
I clean mine about once a week.
I scrub mine down with little alcohol wipes at work.
Okay, well, perfect. That's what I'm going to start doing. I Googled, like, can you use Lysol wipes on your phone? And I guess Apple, like, made an update where, like, yes, those are safe to rub on your phone. I don't scrub them because I'm afraid, like, that alcohol will mess up the screen. But if you have a screen protector, too, you can safely rub Lysol wipes all over them.
Bare bones on the screen.
Wow.
Never had any problems.
Because I was just the other day, like, you know, I'm taking my phone into the stall and I'm, like, setting it down and then, like, on like the little toilet paper rack, and then like in the gym I put it just right on the floor as like a timer. And I'm like, this is so disgusting that I just pick this up and then I eat food and I touch it and then I rub my eyes and I'm like, I gotta come up with a plan. I gotta come up with like a weekly reminder to clean this thing because of how gross that surface has to be.
Yeah, it's a good idea, man.
Other goal, need you guys to help keep me accountable. I don't know how exactly. Maybe
quitting coffee again.
No, absolutely not. Might have stepped that even up. And plus, we got Mountain Dews at night. So I'm trying to pack on 10 pounds. I'm trying to get to 180 pounds.
Oh, yeah. The Joe Thomas diet never goes wrong.
And what's that?
You get a loaf of bread, and so then you just make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches through that entire loaf.
Okay.
Grant tried that when he lived here.
And then you just eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with every single meal that you're going to eat.
Okay.
On top of your meal?
Yes.
Jesus, Evan, that's a lot of peanut butter. There's
another way you
your
do
mouth
it
is going to be dry.
Peanut butter and jelly.
That's why you do.
Yes. Or you cut so all of those, then you cut them in half, and then you eat a half of peanut butter jelly sandwich like every hour or like every 2 hours.
So let's say you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're talking 3 PB&Js on top of those.
Yeah.
You know
Holy
what?
Shit. Yeah, you'd be big.
180 big. You know what? Friend of the pod, Mitten Money, his older brother Eric used to do in high school was set. It was probably
he'd wake
even
up
more,
in the middle of the night and eat PB&Js.
Yeah, he'd set like 3-hour timers. So he'd wake up at like midnight, wake up at 3 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. and down a PB&J. So his body was like constantly consuming calories.
Can you imagine waking up at 3 a.m. and be like, oh, I need this peanut butter and jelly.
You'd be Patrick Starve. Oh boy, 3 a.m. And then he's sitting there eating a burger.
Yeah, I can do that.
My goal, I'm not going to go that insane, but I have incorporated more bread. What I need to do is start eating breakfast every day because I have a tendency to skip that. And thankfully, a benefit of where I am employed now, there's a lot of free muscle milk protein shakes that have 40 grams of protein in them. So I'm downing 2 of those per day. That is my goal.
Fatty cows, though, Grant.
Because I read that if you want to
good.
gain weight, you need to have a gram of protein for how many pounds you weigh. So I need like 170-ish grams of protein a day.
It's a
80.
lot.
I'm going to get 80 just from 2 little drinks. And we'll see where it goes.
But you're not going to get the 90 from something else. You're not just going to eat like 3 chicken breasts plain.
No, but it'll add up. Like, you have a...
No, well.
You have lunch here and there. Like, so tonight I'm making like turkey chicken breast, but sliced, and then bacon BLTs. So that's a lot of meat on there. Pause. And bread. So you're getting that. And so I think it's going to incrementally
I got a
grow.
solution.
Okay.
Super easy.
Steroids.
No.
Oh.
Heavy beer. 10 pounds in 5 minutes.
I don't want to feel terrible.
Well, there's pros and cons, Grant.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just kind of how it goes.
No.
So
right.
just drink like heavy craft beer. Drink 6 of them on Friday and Saturday.
Some
each,
hazy IPAs.
and you just be drunk and fat.
Shotgun hazy IPAs.
Yeah.
And the last thing, I recently got into some spray deodorant, not for the day. I still like stick deodorant for like the day, but before you go to bed, if you want to just quick on, so if you sweat at night like me, you still don't smell bad. And then like
Dry
when you
spray's
get,
great.
if you get home from work,
I like the spray. I just was
you get
surprised you
home
put on
from-
deodorant to go to sleep.
if you get home from work and you feel like a little gross, but you're not trying to shower, and it's an old school throwback to my grandpa, Brute Classic. This stuff smells so good. It smells like a man.
24-hour protection?
I would be
Liar.
a shameless
Spray doesn't last that long. It's the only problem with it.
plug for this. I hope they sponsor us one day.
Brute.
It's good stuff.
I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to order some.
My very last thing, before Alex goes, I'm excited to hear about the invite, is I started on the Michigan Height video. Got me juiced for the season.
Reminds me, one thing I've started recently. Sorry, Grant, didn't interrupt you.
No, go
Game of
ahead.
Thrones.
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones again.
Yeah, Grant's never seen
For
it.
the third time. I'm rewatching
debatable.
it.
Actually,
I have,
Grant, we
like-
did watch
It's
the
your
first
third
3
time?
seasons together.
Yeah, it's my third. Well, I started my third time, so I need to I have 20
You're not going to
days
finish
watch
in
it
time,
all.
Evan. You're not even going to get close. Are you just going home and watching?
That's basically all I do now. Go home, watch.
You told me that you had no time for TV. All these new shows I want you to watch. Instead, the kid finds time to watch 8 seasons?
Yeah.
8 seasons of hour-long episodes of Game of Thrones. You got time
Fantastic. Yeah, oh yeah.
for that?
Just grinding out summer watches.
I mean, you can only watch max 3 seasons a day if you watched all day long for 24 hours. It's going to take you a long time.
I'm through one season already. I started on Sunday. Through one
You
season
could
already.
skip episodes you don't like, too.
Nah. That's immature. That's childish.
Well, Grant skipped the last season and watched a YouTube video, so...
I watched the last season in entirety.
Yeah, skipped to the last season, watched a YouTube video to fill in the gaps, then watched the first couple seasons with me.
Incredibly well produced recap video, though. It really didn't feel like I missed anything.
You did, but yeah.
Alex.
Well, some side stuff for the invite. Grant, Succession. I'm on. I just finished episode 3 of season 3 right now,
Okay.
so I'm getting close.
Yep.
The show is still incredibly awkward. Makes me feel so uneasy watching it.
Yeah.
Just with all-
just really
all
just
this- oh god.
like
it's
some in
awkward.
scary movies you want to cover your eyes because you're scared, and this you want to cover your eyes and turn it off because you just feel your skin crawl.
Sometimes I want to skip ahead. It's so weird.
Oh, there's one part later on. I can't wait for that text when you're just gonna send me one buzzword, one keyword, and I'll be like, "Yep, Alex got to that episode."
No, I'm not looking forward to that. Then Golf League. So what I was saying, the Gillens are on a tear right now. I think we've taken 20 or more the last 3 weeks.
I feel like Garrett's been playing some good ball. If I'm starting to string together the recaps,
he has been. I did beat him this week.
well, you should. You're scratch.
Yeah, no, but he's been shooting in the 30s every week until this week. But we played, so this week it was 2v1. We're second, but we were 20 points behind. So we needed to do a number on them.
Yeah.
We did 21.5 to 8.5.
Wow.
So we're just firing on all cylinders right now. And there's a real chance that we could win this league. So stay tuned for that. That'd be cool.
Hunker down.
Yep. Now, to the invite.
You were there to make money, not win.
No, we were there to win.
Quick summary.
Reigning Flight 2 champions.
Quick question. This is probably people are going to zone out, but I did enjoy the little chop whoever made this tournament that they made the top flight, the Nicholas flight, in the second tier, the Woods flight. Head scratching, a little debate, little GOAT debate. Who's the best?
Grant, how much were you really tuning into these live scorecards?
Like every hour on the hour. Just saying.
You were texting pretty fast about things that had just happened.
I did. Well, would you? Well, I texted even more last year. I just was a little busier this year, but I just want to see what was going on.
So, anyways, started off just absolute drubbing. Made a combined 4 birdies in our 9 holes. Took 7.5 out of 9 points in our first match, and we're like, oh my God, we're just gonna roll again. We're just gonna roll right to the shootout. Second match was tough. I played pretty bad. I don't know what I shot, but I struggled. Still won, so all good. If you go 5-0 in your flight, you move on. And then the real disappointment started. Match 3, good buddy Cam, who wants to come on this podcast. He begged me all weekend long. So a professional hockey player would like to be on this podcast.
Is sober Cam still down to draft for me?
Sober Cam texted me on Monday and said he will be at the draft. So that's good. Also would like to be on the show. So we have to make that happen.
Can definitely make that happen. We don't have a lot going on.
Yep. So we're playing him. It is 4-1 through 5 holes.
Okay.
We're winning 4-1. Take 4.5, you tie. 5, you win.
You need a half point in the last.
Half point. 4 holes.
You just have to tie a hole.
It feels like that Michigan State gif against Michigan.
Listen to this.
You have to tie a hole.
Correct. So we go to the par 3.
Front or back?
Who's that guy that choked at that
back.
recent major?
15.
15.
Mito Pereira.
You guys are Team Mito
us.
Pereira.
Yeah. So whatever. 15. I think we made bogeys. They made a par. Happens. It's a par 3. It's kind of a toss up. Whatever. So we lose that hole. Still, we're like not even remotely worried. We get to 16's tee box. It's 4-2 and now. Cody gets a bloody nose.
Oh.
Okay.
From?
Don't know. He puts his jacket on and he's leaning his head back. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, nose is bleeding.
Just dry nose. Probably was hot out there. A lot of dirt.
Like, don't worry,
a lot
man.
of pollen.
I can do this. I can win this hole for us. Hit a good tee shot. Fine. I was fine. Just right.
Then you got a bloody nose.
No. Oh. So then Cody's trying to hit with the bloody nose. He keeps just like I was like, dude, just suck it in as fast as you can and swing. And then so it was awkward. I don't remember his drive. I think it was pretty decent still. Whatever. So I hit it on, putting for birdie. Okay. Cam hits it on. He's putting for birdie.
Putt off.
He is a good 40 feet. At least. I'm like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I miss. I didn't go first. He made it. He made a 40-foot bomb. Birdie.
Hockey player. Professional hockey player. They have great hands.
Oh, great. Go to the next hole. Cody in the fairway is like, when Cam gets hot with a putter, dude, he might be the best putter at this course of all time. I'm like, Cody, he's not going to make another one of those. It's not a big deal. Next hole. Bomb. Birdie. Again.
No.
Loss. So now all of a sudden so that was 17 and 18. He birdied both. 18, he made a putt. He putted it straight, and then it dropped left at a 90-degree angle down a slope to an impossible pin, dead center of the cup. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
This is like the JFK assassination, the way you're describing the way the bullet traveled. Or it's wasn't it John Rahm and someone else that had like a putt off that went to a playoff and the putts were like 90 dropped down the hill in? Anyways.
It was one of the more impossible putts. Like 2 putting from there would have been good. Made it. So now all of a sudden, we are tied with 1 hole left. We have to go to 10 because we started on 11. Go to 10. Cody, not his best drive, so he's kind of out of it.
Bloody nose.
Yeah, he was battling some serious adversity. And Cam's making birdies. So the 2 holes before we're like, all right, we can live with it. So Cam, my drive is the furthest, so Cam is going first. He's in the rough, like next to a tree. Just hits a ridiculous shot to like 4 feet for another birdie for 3 in a row, and just to actually kill us. I hit my shot. It's okay. It's on the fringe. It's like 8 feet. So he's actually, I think he putted first for some reason. I don't know. Lipped out. Miracle. I have a chance to still win this match. No, I didn't make it. We lose. So we somehow lose. Up 4-1. We lose the match. 5-4. It's fine. Get in. We're still leading on the leaderboard by a point with next day's matches. 2 matches. Morning match is with friend of the podcast, Ben, and his very good golf partner,
Bob.
You guys know who he is. Yeah.
Bob.
Wasn't him we had to worry about. It was Ben. Ben was a killer on Saturday morning. Shot one of the best rounds of his life.
Wow.
72.
Killer and Ben V.
Oh, you played
I
9
believe
holes.
he shot.
You played 9 holes. Never mind, JK.
I believe he shot 73 for the 2 9s combined that morning. However, we go to hole 9. We are losing 4.5 to 3.5 going to hole 9. Cody got screwed off his drive, so he's behind a tree. I thought mine was like in the heather to the left, Evan, if you know what I'm talking about on hole 9. So grant you too. I thought mine was like far, but in the heather and screwed.
Oh.
Wasn't. It's like
Left.
30
You
yards
hooked
away.
it.
Yeah, I was trying to hit a draw, a little overcooked. 30 yards out on the left side. Somehow. Ben's right down the middle, as he was all day, and had a birdie putt just on the front. I put it on. I have like 12 feet down the hill for birdie. Ben hits his putt like a foot. So all of a sudden, it seems like maybe if I 2-putt, we're good. But in my head, I was thinking I got to make this. 12 feet down the hill. Hammered it. Just crushed it. Down the middle of the cup. Hits the back of the cup. Pops up. Falls in. Unbelievable. We tie 4.5. It was actually crazy. Ben is very upset. And we move on to the final match against former golf coach. Down 1 point.
The match that should have been broadcasted. I should have drove out there and just recorded live off my phone and broadcasted it live.
Well, the backstory for everyone was like Alex's group and Cody too. It applied to him, but it was like all their ex-golf teammates from high school and their golf coach. So it could not have been more of a mental stressor to get in and out of throughout the weekend.
It was so much focus.
Like everyone knows a lot about each other.
Could barely be fun because it was so stressful. Last match.
FYI,
Keep in mind,
if this happens again next year, I am going out there. I'm driving out there, and I have my own car, and I will be broadcasting my own.
like a just
it would be good stuff.
IG
you
live.
Really should have. But you were in East Lansing, but whatever. So keep in mind, golf coach's partner is a 9 handicap. So on this 9 holes, he's receiving 5 strokes. So remember that. Very important. First hole, my fault. 3-putt. Bogey. Can't have that. His higher handicap partner makes 4. So with a stroke.
A little Jason vibe. Cut out the last name. My bad.
Hole 11. Cody hits it out of bounds. It's all on me. I had to punch out to the fairway. Somehow to hit a miraculous third shot on 11 to like 5 feet to still have a chance at par. Missed. He makes par.
How do you hit it out of bounds on 11?
He went over the fairway straight. Just hit it straight.
He's just a bomber.
So the driving range is technically out of bounds?
Oh, sorry. I'm talking about 12. We started on 11. So
good catch,
anyways,
Evan.
That was 12. That's my bad. Fine. Lose it again. 13. Par 3. I'm on in regulation. He's on regulation. Both long putts. The guy buries it for birdie, 2 for 1. So
with these guys.
I lose. No stroke, so doesn't matter. Loss. Next hole.
14.
I think we
Par 5.
I think we managed to tie that hole.
Down the houses.
Tie
So
probably
down.
feels like a win at this point.
It's
Drive
3
right
to a
by in front of the
half.
podcast, Connor's house.
It's 3 to a half, and we have to take 5.5 to win. So we're like, oh my god, could not go anywhere.
Let's start boozing.
Par 3 comes up next. I hit another good shot on the par 3. Missed the birdie putt. This dude is in the bunker in the front.
What's this guy's first
on
name?
this
Just so I first
Craig.
Craig's
Cruisers.
Cruisers.
He's in the bunker in front of the green. You guys remember that bunker on
The
50?
bunker's not close to the green. So there's a little distance in between it.
Yeah.
Craig
Correct.
Biggio.
Dude looks at me. He's holding his wedge. Throws it out of the bunker. Grabs his putter. He putts it
No.
to an inch
No.
from the bunker. Nearly hold it.
No.
Taps in for par. Halves the hole. 3.5
Then
to
you
1.
started boozing.
Nope. We're still thinking we still have a chance.
Mm-mm.
Par 5.
The vibes are so much different this year than last year.
It really started spiraling. Par 5.
16.
Yep. He's getting a stroke. I'm getting a stroke.
One of the
Cody's
worst holes ever created in any golf course.
Wow.
I hit an iron because I gotta be safe here. We gotta at least try to make birdie. Who knows what Craig's gonna do here?
Probably just
Makes birdie.
putt out of another
4 for
bunker for an
3.
eagle.
Makes 4 for 3. We make 5s. There's 4.5. I mean, at this point, it feels over. Next hole, same type of thing happens. He makes 4. They win again. So I mean, it's 6. They have 6 now, something like that, with 3 holes left, and we have like 1 point. So now is where it gets juicy for Ben, because remember, he just had that. I made that putt on 9 for 4.5 points. Well, they're throttling a different team right now to the point where they're right in this, and they really need us to take some points. We see them, and they're like, guys, we need you to do something so we can go to the shootout. So we go to 18. We have 18 and 10 left. I birdied 18, win the hole, and did it for my friend Ben. We go to 10. Cody birdies 10. So two birdies too late. We lose 6-3. Kind of respectable after how it went. Ben, full name, hole 10. We see him in the fairway because they were the group behind us. I was like, Ben, you just have to make birdie here. He's in the middle of the fairway. Puts it on 8 feet. Cody and I are sitting back in the fairway. He makes his putt. They go to the shootout. Hits the putt. Looks just absolutely perfect from where we are. Not too hard, not too soft. Goes in to the cup. Horseshoes the entire cup. Comes directly back to him. I just see Ben's putter thrown into the air.
He
missed it. I mean, they're like laying on the ground. Just absolute devastation.
Sick.
They didn't make it by half a point because Ben's putt did not fall.
And you made a putt on...
My putt on 9 ruined their chances.
Wow.
Just for us to... Oh, by the way, Mr. Craig shot 35.
Craig.
1 under.
Craig's Cruisers is
Craig's clutch.
cruising around in Alex and Cody's heads, a little rent-free.
Yes.
And meanwhile, golf coach, very good golfer, did play terrible. Hit some tops, worm burners. It was awful to watch.
He's one of us. Feels good.
One of us.
So then after that, it was, that was it.
So now, weekly recaps in the books. First topic, Lions training camp observations. I'll kick us off on this, but the gist is just anything you've seen that you think is worth mentioning. Could be as dumb as possible, could be as serious as possible, could be one thing, could be nothing. For me, you guys know the guy that I mentioned I'm going to keep a close eye on was Aiden Hutchinson as a Michigan fan. And I'm pleased to report that I would say it's been a good balance. It's been a mixed bag, as they say. Evan passed along a DM of him doing very well in the start of practice, had a sack, had a tackle for loss. And then we also saw a video of Penei Sewell holding his own and dominating Hutchinson on a play. So I think it's been a good mix of Hutchinson making an impact, but also iron sharpens iron, as the cliche goes. So it's good that he's working against Panay, and it's great to see Panay, very good football player in pads. So
you stole my take, dude.
What?
Penny is a Hall of Famer.
Great purchase by a friend of the podcast, Cody. That jersey is going to be worth a lot of money one day.
All you need to do is get it signed.
You need to get it signed.
Great purchase. Great purchase.
Evans on it. For as terrible of a game that was, both those purchases were very smart.
Look good.
Yeah.
You guys should get socks signed by them like Grant's getting from Tony Lippett.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Hutchinson and Panay.
Evan, you want to go?
Yeah, I would say Swift looks like an animal. He looks bigger, faster, stronger. He caught a wheel route. Yes, our linebackers aren't that good, but Goff threw like a perfect wheel route to him in the end zone, down during like red zone.
Swift's
offense.
on that PB&J plan.
Yes, he is. Just gets me excited. Just pray to all gods, okay. New and old. Alex, there you go. Just for the health and safety of DeAndre Swift.
Why did you call me out there?
Because of the old gods and new gods. If you knew the reference. Yes.
I haven't seen every season, so he
But Grant got the reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know why you said my name.
Grant's a bigger fan.
I'm an old gods guy. I'm an old gods guy. For sure.
I'm all for the new gods.
Isn't the new gods like the redhead witch? I don't mess with that.
Technically, I don't think there's any specific people we're referring to here. Maybe some statues.
We're talking about Jesus Christ.
Well, no, there is no Jesus Christ in Game of Thrones that we're aware of.
Right. Alex, your obs.
Well, Malcolm Rodriguez is supposed to be pretty good, I guess.
There you go. Yeah.
I was going to say we signed Justin Jackson. Should we be excited?
No. Good
and I realized no, because Jamar Jefferson also, according to Dan Campbell, is having a huge jump from year 1 to year 2.
Oh.
And I told Evan on Monday I thought Jamar Jefferson would get cut. And I must be wrong.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs. Build that game.
Your point about Malcolm goes to a larger point of like, it really is.
How bad are our linebackers?
No, it's like state-controlled media in a way of how camps work across, because we only get to see what teams put out. I mean, a beat writer can try to describe what they saw, but until you see the video, you can't be, oh, that guy does look good. So one of the lone defensive highlights we've seen was a Malcolm Rodriguez play, because like someone in the comments said, how about some defensive plays? And it was kind of funny.
It was a good play, though.
Yes, I wrote Malcolm Rodriguez has burst, because that's what stood out to me is like, he doesn't look very fast, but when he moves, it's like, whoa, that's like a water bug sliding across the water. Like the way he just gets to the ball, I'm like, whoa, I like this guy.
You guys ever see the videos the Lions put out where there's like a question on a board? They walk by it and they answer it.
Yeah.
Well, they did one that was like, who should have the fastest rating in Madden or something? And Malcolm Rodriguez comes up to it and he's like, bro, I got burst. I run like a 1.9 10-yard dash or something. And they were all talking about how fast Malcolm Rodriguez is in short yardage. So maybe there is some truth to his burst.
Okay. He's got burst. And they sounded like they're going to let him work a little bit with the ones, which is
alarming.
Throwing him with the Sharks. Well, not really the Sharks, because we don't have a Shark linebacker. I'll say that.
We have a Shark wide receiver.
Who made a nice play. I think I saw a video of that finally, because I was waiting for a Shark play. We've seen a lot of other plays. Finally saw a catch. My other point, my last one, and you guys can close this off if you have anything else, but I would say overall Goff looks comfortable and decisive. And how I want to caveat
how much video are you really watching of these Lions, Grant? Like a couple highlights where Jared always looks good in them?
Yeah, I just don't remember seeing a ton last year of him, and it seems like you look, and it's like he's getting the ball out quickly as plays develop. You can kind of tell, like, if it's a broken down play and it'd probably be a sack, it looks like he's getting the ball out fast, like he knows where he's going. And all the reports have been like I've seen Ragnow say it, which is like the leader of our team, saying Jared has like been living in the facility this offseason because it's a new offense under Ben Johnson, and he's like jazzed about it. It's back to the LA roots. And while I don't think we're going to see Jared Goff make a bunch of head turning plays, it's good to see him, at least if he's going to be a game manager, be like more comfortable in the elite game manager where like he understands the offense like the back of his hand. He knows all the reads and the checks. He's just going to get the ball out quick, which is what you want if you're not taking crazy shots downfield.
I will say, for some reason on my TikTok, a bunch of like Steelers like offensive things come up. And if we're comparing Jared Goff's like how comfortable and calm he looks to Kenny Pickett running around for his life at every practice for the Steelers for some reason, because I keep seeing him. I mean, yeah, there's a drastic difference. Kenny Pickett looks lost in Pittsburgh right now. So maybe Jared is comfortable.
Evan, how are you feeling about Jared Goff on August 3rd?
I think it'd be better for him. I thought Anthony Lynn would be a good coach, but obviously he was too one-dimensional.
Me too. What a miss by us.
Yeah,
we really all thought that.
Yeah, you would think.
What a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I think, Ben Johnson, right?
Yep.
I think he'd just be more willing to like adapt his offense to anything that Goff feels comfortable with, and like they're basically building the offense so they have like an easier time calling plays, I would say. So we'll see. I'm not too worried about it right now in August.
What are you worried about? Any other
I'm worried about the secondary. Will Harris has moved to corner.
Well, Okuda's going to be ready
Jeff
to go.
Okuda's garbage.
Him and Okuda are competing
player
for that. But I saw Harris moving to corner, and Malfam new is moving to safety.
Yep.
Woo.
Iffy.
Doesn't matter.
Malfam. Woo.
I like it. You know how like Mark D'Antonio used to reshuffle his coaches? Just reshuffle his secondary.
Yeah, and it always worked.
Will Harris has to move his position so he doesn't get cut.
A good shot to start at corner, according to Dan Campbell himself.
Like if you're about to be cut as a safety, you might as well try corner. And I kind of like the idea of Iffy being a 6'3" safety. That's kind of where the league is going. I like that. I like the moves. I love Tracy Walker. I saw a clip of him on IG stories.
Dog.
He's
got that dog in him.
So much bigger than I realized. Like the way he looked in pads, I was like, "Oh my god, this guy!"
He hits hard.
So I'm excited. Obviously, it will probably end up being a weak point, but I don't know. I'm
overly excited about this team.
You are overly?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I don't know why.
It does kind of suck that
classic letdown.
Like we knew. Part of the excitement's a little tampered. Like we knew with our logical brains, we wouldn't see Jameson for a while, but Tom Pelissero basically broke the news that he's not coming back till November. So that does kind of suck. But Spin Zone, like we talked about last show, let's respect Josh Reynolds while he's out there a lot, because also drawing a lot of buzz, got the nicknames from Dan Campbell. Josh Reynolds is going to be a very serviceable player for this team for a while.
Don't sleep on Leaf.
I'm sleeping on Leaf.
He's speedy. I bet he cribs a punt this year. Anybody want to take that
Special teams,
bet?
I'm wide awake on Leaf. On their offense, asleep on Leaf.
All right, I have one question for you two about Lions training camp.
Mm-hmm.
First round of cuts. Name one player you think will be cut.
I don't know that roster. That
one player. Just name one.
One player.
You know who I haven't heard about? This Mike Hughes from KC. Is he hurt?
I haven't heard anything either.
Right? He was a good ad for us. I've heard about Deshaun Elliott.
You're going Mike Hughes.
No.
Preseason.
No, I don't know.
Craig Reynolds. I'm going Craig Reynolds.
Pimpleton.
No.
It's either him or Leaf. You're not going to have two of those guys on your team.
I think Leaf will be cut before him. You always go with what's new.
Do you guys know who our second string tight end is going to be? That's a situation to watch.
Brock Wright?
We sign a guy.
No, he's already gone.
Because our rookie,
he retired.
Our rookie's coming off ACL, so he's probably not going to be ready to go.
The Brock dude from Georgia.
Okay. No.
I think is his name.
The Brock dude from Georgia was like freshman of the year last year, Brock Bowers.
No, his last name's Brock.
Okay.
Let me pull up a roster.
Also, I heard an alarming tweet that Romeo Okwara is hopeful to play this year, so he may not even come back this year.
He just started like jogging and running. That's
not good. I feel misled. I thought he'd be like Jameson Williams, like where he'd be back sooner than later, but that's not great.
Tom Pelissero was saying that we'll be lucky to see Williams. within the first 6 weeks.
Are you joking?
I think Evan was a little zoned out when we said that.
No, swear
Grant
to God.
said that. Grant said that.
Did he?
Yeah, I think
6 minutes
Evan
ago?
was looking at something.
I was.
Brock Wright,
Brock
Notre
right.
Dame tight end.
Brock wrong.
He had 2 touchdowns last year.
All right, I'll keep us moving. The Detroit Tigers, this will go quick, I think, unless, Evan, you have anything to say. My only opening statement is there's a lot of buzz about how the Padres won the deadline with getting Juan Soto. I would say
And
Robbie
Josh Bell. Don't forget about it. Josh Bell.
Josh Bell.
Josh Bell's a good baseball
and I
player.
heard Josh Hader, too. Did they get Josh Hader
Yes,
as well?
they did.
That's
it was
insane.
it was
Tampering.
Going all in.
reliever
It's not
that was
tampering, Grant.
stinking
Tamarine.
for the Padres getting traded for a reliever that was stinking for the Brewers, and just flip flopped. But also
Hader's good though. Maybe
he
he's not
has
this year.
over an 4-point ERA in the month of July, Alex.
Okay.
Well,
Change of
can I
scenery.
say something?
Well, let me finish my opening statement.
But you might steal it.
Yeah, I might. I want to say the
You're gonna.
winners of the
Say
trade
it.
deadline are Robbie Grossman and Michael Fulmer because they're out of this team. That's who won the trade deadline.
I was gonna say we traded Michael Fulmer for a single A 7.17 ERA pitcher, but whatever.
Is that real? I didn't even look at the prospects.
That's real.
That's how little I care about this
he's
team.
that terrible. 7 ERA and single, maybe double A.
I wish Robbie and Michael the best.
We
I hope they
traded Michael
thrive.
Fulmer for Evan Cadmus pitching in the minor leagues.
Dude,
Evan can
you
throw a
have-
7 ERA in 3 games.
What's the
Oh,
dude's name? I saw
absolutely.
a fantastic meme of who Al Avila is. It's Big Al from Toy Story 2. sleeping on the couch of him eating his cheesy puffs.
Oh
He's
my
sleeping
God.
on the couch during the trade deadline.
That's
Just
too
that
perfect.
fat lard, just worthless piece of
Dude,
crap.
the
just
Tigers
not
are
doing
such-
anything.
Or such a joke. It
Such
just
a
gets
joke,
more
dude.
comical every week. Who
Yeah.
did we trade Robbie Grossman for? Did we trade him for someone, or did we just kind of give him
we
away?
traded for
I
one
don't know.
A washing
prospect.
machine.
It
You
really
gotta
was-
watch
one good
machine.
year. He
Did-
kind of.
There was a report
We got
coming
hot
out
and ready
last
for
week.
him.
There was a reports out last week that we could trade everybody, and we traded 2 players.
Dude, I
Well,
don't.
because Evan, the needle wasn't moving for Big Al. Okay.
It's just so
But it
hard
was
to
for Michael
care.
Fulmer for that 7.17 ERA
Blow
and
up the
double
entire
A.
front office. Blow it up. I don't
Yeah,
think they
it's
will.
so
though.
hard to care.
All
You need to sell the
prospects blow
team.
it up.
You need to sell the team. We
Or at least
fired
get
Dave
a- at least get
Dombrowski
a
for
new
going to 2 World
GM.
Series.
Just start with the GM.
Yeah, Grant,
Prospects.
it's never going to happen.
But the scouts.
I'm not
Grant,
rooting for the
scouts
Tigers
is
if
what
this
the
continues.
recruits all
This
the-
continues next year. I'm never rooting for them again.
Well,
Who you gonna cheer for?
that's extreme. You just take a break
No,
from baseball.
Grant.
It's been great on my mental.
For 7 years. I'm kind of getting sick of it, man.
It's kind of nice to have your summer completely off. We're like, we go so
It's
hard.
kind of not. I just come home and I'm like, oh, is there anything on? Nope, there's not.
We go so
There's
hard.
nothing on.
You have Game of Thrones to rewatch. You have Succession. We go so hard
Yeah,
in
I just
football.
watch shows.
It's good to have a
Sucks.
stretch where we don't have to care about sports.
No, it's not. We
Yeah,
eat,
you're right.
breathe,
No,
and
you're
live
right.
sports.
You're
It's
right.
not
It's not
fun.
great.
It sucks. I hate every second of it.
Speaking of sports and lack of coverage on them,
Fuck
The Athletic seems like the rumor I started, they really don't have an MSU writer. So if you guys want to get in the comments and bully them, people have already been doing it. But one of the biggest recruits in state history, Xavier Booker, signs over the weekend. Not really a peep from The Athletic about what it means for the team. Just a general breaking news. They signed him. So not really sure what that operation's doing. But Michigan State's a pretty big college program that probably deserves a solo beat writer. So
Hey, heads up, Athletic. I did not renew. I have not, and I will not until Michigan State has a writer. So I don't have no Athletic right now. And I do feel naked because I can't see all the Lions observations that I want to see, but can't do it.
wow.
Can't do it.
Evan, your thoughts?
It's just
Hot or cool throne
Makes no
Solari
sense.
and Couch. Solari and Couch stock up.
stock rising for them.
Yeah, except they're behind paywalls, and also Chris Solari's garbage. Sorry,
We'll never be
You
on
know
the
what?
show.
There's a cease of power. There's an opening here. Maybe you guys get those fingers out and you start cranking on the blog, and you guys become the beat writers of
I'm
Michigan
going to
State.
drop a game-by-game prediction blog, Evan, if you want to join.
Ooh, I like that little collab like they do on the Athletic.
People live for game-by-game predictions.
So you can boycott the Athletic, but I still have to talk about them. And I'll just tell you guys what's going on.
Thanks.
I'm going to end up getting it back. There's just no way I won't.
Yeah.
But
All right.
for now.
Football talk. We're cutting out a decent amount, so we're getting a little less than an hour. So if we do like 15 on each of these, we should be perfect timing wise. We'll start with Michigan defending Big Ten champs preview.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna work that in as many times as I can during this. I didn't say it during offense, but I gotta work it in.
Get it out while you can.
Yep. Just like basketball, you gotta milk that, and then when things go bad. Anyways, hinted at it last show if you listened, but the obvious statement here is the defense is a little bit more shaky this year compared to last year, just naturally with the production they saw. We'll start with coaching so everyone is informed. New defensive coordinator for Michigan, Mike Macdonald, the man, the myth, the legend, came in one year. I was very high on him after reading a profile of like this guy's an analytics savant, business degree, all that stuff. Worked his way up through Georgia. Very confident in him. It worked out. Now, I guess this would be someone in the same train of thought, but not as accomplished as Mike Macdonald. Like, there's a reason Mike got the job last year and not Jesse Minter, because they were in the same pool, both from the Ravens. Jesse Minter's background, coached at Notre Dame, Cincinnati, Indiana State, Georgia State.
Say the last one.
The Ravens.
Say the last one.
Then he went to Vanderbilt. Right.
Sorry.
I mean, you could have done
Just letting
that.
people know that is a dumpster fire program.
You could have done that about Indiana State probably as well.
I did. I gave a little poop for that.
Went to Vanderbilt and now is at Michigan. The hope here, the thought is that he's going to have the same philosophy as Mike Macdonald. Like, it's not going to be some changing of scheme. So that I think that will be good overall. But it's just like, how do their two brains differ? Their X's and O's, they're like the way they are able to teach drills will be the key, and if the success can continue. And also the talent pool Mike Macdonald got to work with is probably a little bit higher as we go into this season. So, replenishing last year's production. How many of Michigan's top tacklers do you think are gone from last year?
The top 6.
Like in order?
Yeah. They were all in order. Like, it just went down. I was like, oh, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone.
5.
Top 4. You guys were right there. Top 4 tacklers from last year.
You just said 5, so that's why I said that.
Top 4 tacklers are gone. 2 double-digit sack guys are gone. So, got to replace a lot. We'll start on the defensive line. They return 2.5 sacks, essentially, with Taylor Upshaw. He had 2.5 sacks in 4 games, so not really a lot known there. But he is a guy that at least did something last year. A guy people are hopeful on is Mike Morris for Michigan. Michigan State fans know about him. They hate him because he was the one who tried to choke out Kenneth Walker at the bottom of a pile. So, little scumbag, little dog mentality, depending on how you look at it. There's no place in the game for that, though. And then a guy who I think will be a budding star on the defensive line, not as a high sack guy, but a just mass human being who was solid last year, is Mozzie Smith. Defensive line right over the nose tackle, three bills, just a big old boy, hard to move around. So that is the layout for the defensive line. Any thoughts from you guys on that unit? And are you just like, hey, this unit's going to be pretty bad compared to last year?
It would obviously be dramatically different when now you're going to have to probably dial up a little more stunts, blitzes, just to get the production out of your front 4.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think run defense, I think they'll be totally fine. But obviously pass rush, that's where you're going to be hurting mostly. And I see whoever's probably the quickest in turn sacks production is going to probably play on third down passing situations. So I think there could be a rotation of guys that you're probably unfamiliar with or just new to playing time.
I agree with Evan. You're definitely not I shouldn't say definitely not, but you're unlikely to get the sack production from just rushing 4 every time that you got last year. So you definitely have to call more blitzes. Wouldn't be worried about the run game at all. It just wouldn't be.
Unless Kenneth Walker's running against you.
Yep.
Now, if you run into one of those guys, maybe Travion Henderson exploits Michigan's run defense, but I wouldn't be too worried about that.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me hope with the line is that Hutchinson we kind of knew had a lot of potential. He battled through injuries during the weird COVID season, so there was like expectations for him. Ojabo really came out of nowhere. I was going back and looking at his stats. He did nothing until his breakout year where he had 11 sacks. So I'm not expecting anyone on this defensive line to have 10 sacks, but if you had a couple guys range in the 5 to 7, you could accumulate as many sacks that Hutchinson and Ojabo, they had 25 combined sacks last year. So if you can compile different ways to get there, that would be nice. There is one guy I forgot to mention, Braden McGregor, who has been working through the system, was a high recruit. He is supposed to get a lot of opportunity, and hopefully, if you're a Michigan fan, he makes a jump for Michigan on the line. But again, a lot of unknowns with that group. Linebacking group, a group I feel pretty good about, a solid group. Yes, you lose Josh Ross, who was a slow captain, but as Alex just mentioned, he was slower athletically, but he made a bunch of massive plays. One massive play in the Ohio State game to start the second half on the third down. So he was always there. He's a veteran guy. But now you bring back Junior Colson, who he's going to be a name we hear forever because he started right away as a freshman. He had 60 tackles last year. Then you have Nakai Hillgreen, who for sake of purpose we'll just call NHG, 50 tackles last year. So guys that saw a lot of action and got to play alongside Josh Ross, and they're more athletic. The concern with this group, the depth behind them, I don't really know. I was looking at the names, a couple of recruits I remember when we brought them in, but no one like last year I knew if Josh Ross went down at all, you have Junior Colson and HG behind him. If one of those guys goes down, I don't know. It could be a new guy. So don't really have a ton other than that on the linebacking group. More athletic, which I think, as you guys can attest, it's nice to have athletic linebackers.
Yeah. And experience.
Definitely and experience.
Depth could be a problem.
Depth definitely could be a problem. Last group here, defensive backs, could end up being the strength of this defense because I was looking through and, our relationship with PFF. We had Austin Gale on. Very nice guy. They do a lot of great work, have some cool graphics, but sometimes their grades, what?
I don't know if their work is great. No one knows where it comes from and what it is.
Yeah, but we've talked about it's nice that when it backs your team, it's sus when it doesn't.
When it's
and you
good for you, you like it.
And so I like it. They have DJ Turner as the highest graded Big Ten defensive back going into this season. He had 2 interceptions last year. He was targeted 46 times, gave up 20 completions. So less than 50% of the time a completion was happening on him, which feels pretty good for a defensive back. He made some splash plays, like a great interception. You just know the kid has good hand-eye coordination against Northwestern with that interception. So we're looking for him to be a dog in the secondary. And then behind him, you have 2 safeties that saw playing time last year, and RJ Moten and Rod Moore. Rod Moore came on really strong at the end of the year. But of course, Michigan fans will know you're replacing veteran Brad Hawkins, who was always in the right place at the right time. Shout out the Nebraska game. And Dax Hill, who was a very high draft pick, who was a freak athlete. So you got to replace those guys. And then you have Will Johnson, a 5-star, and Gamon Green as your cornerback. So I don't know. Again, it's similar to the defensive line where you're replacing 2 really accomplished players, but it's a chance for people to step up. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about the secondary for the Wolverines.
It's a shame Vincent Gray's not back.
I knew we couldn't get through without that name coming up. Not sure what happened to him with the NFL either.
I'm sure it's not going well.
Tough. I would love for him to find a home somewhere. He didn't play that bad this past year. I have to say that. He made more tackles.
The guy stinks.
He made Rocky Lombardi who he is.
Georgia made him look pretty good.
Yeah, didn't he fall down? They had
some of the worst coverage ever.
They had some cleat problems in that game. Balls in the lights. Yeah.
Evan thinks Vincent Gray's a good player, though, so it's okay.
No, don't wait.
Very good college player.
Gave Michigan State a win once.
Oh, I was going to say there's no way Evan actually does.
No, I'm the one streaming from the bleacher saying always throw it to him. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing with this defense is who is going to make the tackles, who's going to step up, who's going to be the name that you're going to turn to. Like, all right, you need to make a play when their time's coming, crunch time in the game. I think scheme-wise, they both come from the Ravens, from basically Harbaugh said during the media days. He said it was between McDonald and the current defensive coordinator, and then they picked Mike McDonald first. And so when they coming back, Jim just went to him again, and he said yes this time. So I think scheme wise, it won't be too different. Obviously, just production. And see what happens. But good thing, like we said, on the offensive side, you guys are playing a cupcake non-conference at home. Don't have to leave until October, so you don't really have to run anything exotic, but you also get super exotic because it's probably not going to hurt you against inferior opponents.
Yeah, testing grounds to get ready, and then you go face Iowa's vaunted offense.
The Kinnick Stadium's probably going to be a night game, 7:30.
Spencer Petras is so good. Oh my God, what is the Big Ten gonna do?
It's not that back? It's the quarterback, Alex. It's Kinnick Stadium.
He stinks.
He's not Kinnick back, Stadium. Is he?
Evan, I was just making fun of how bad he is.
No, yeah, he's back.
Just go give that Big Ten
Go
give that Big Ten championship game a listen if you want to start thoughts on Iowa.
PPG. Oh, freshman. Talk freshman.
Freshman.
Let me go first. I only know one. Let me go first.
Yeah.
It's got to be Will Johnson. Who else is it going to be?
He's the headliner, 5-star, one of the highest recruits in the program's history, right out of Detroit. I wouldn't be stunned. Grosse Point, good call. Yeah.
He's got to play.
Yeah, that sounds less tough than Detroit.
There's a need, and he's good.
Yep. It would be him between him and Gamon Green. Jamon. I don't know. I never know how to pronounce that name. Gemon. I need to figure out how to say that. I think it's Gamon Green.
I'm going Jamon.
Between those two, but with corners, just like Jeff Okudah and Will Harris, you're going to get rotated in no matter what.
No.
The other guy.
Not true.
The other guy to watch out for is Derek Moore. He was a huge late commit in last year's cycle, and you just see like somehow Darius Clemens I talked about with offense. You just see a guy and like, well, that guy's super athletic. He looks huge. He could play on this team. A guy to watch that you guys are familiar with. We might see some Rayshon Benny this year after going through the program for 1 year. So there's a hole there on the defensive line.
Loser.
See if Rayshon Benny, the flip king, can fill it. PPG, as Alex say, not paints though, not PPG paints. So last year, Grant stats, meaningful games. Michigan gave up 18 points per game, which is remarkable for modern college football. They were like top 5 in the country.
Even with the 37 they gave up against Michigan State?
Yeah, that was that's
pretty good.
I think there was only 2 games they gave up more than 30. Michigan State Michigan State scored the most points of the entire season against Michigan, which kind of goes back to the point
better than Georgia.
Better than Georgia, better than Ohio State.
How much did Georgia score? 35?
I don't know.
I feel like they put up 1 million. After that trick play, I was like, wow, this team's very good at football.
Why is it not easy to see the score?
You don't know the score of your team's college football playoff loss?
34. I blacked it out. 34-11. What a weird number.
Yikes.
So yeah, 18 in meaningful games. What are you guys thinking for this year? What feels right for this new question mark filled defense?
Are we talking meaningful games only or the season as a whole? We're going to give up 0 for the first 4 weeks.
Meaningful?
Play actual cupcake teams.
Meaningful games then.
24.
6 points more per game.
About a touchdown more.
Yeah, I like that.
I always forget who you guys play besides Iowa.
Pretty bad teams.
Didn't we say Illinois because we said we both play Illinois?
Yeah. They stink.
Oh, God, they're running power just down your throat. They're going to try to manhandle you.
Red Bean was going to try to win that game 6-3.
They beat Penn State last year.
It was like 17, 15, and 8 overtimes.
Pumpkin patch.
Yeah. Years off our life.
Colorado State on ABC at noon.
What do you think, Evan?
0.
Meaningful games, so like Big Ten games only.
Maryland 0.
No, Maryland led the conference, second in conference in points. So
they
low key,
kind of
be a difficult matchup for them.
Meaningful games, Evan. Maryland's not going to be.
Alex, they're second in conference in points, over 30 points per game.
Well, we played them. They didn't look very good.
I'm gonna. What'd you say? So they gave 18
24,
last year.
An additional tutty.
I'll say 22.5.
Generous.
I like that, Evan. I did 24.
Indiana's still bad, and Sean Clifford's still a quarterback at Penn State.
Drew Allar is.
I think Allar will take over that job.
Allar's very good.
You gotta have a man. We've seen a lot of Sean Clifford over our lives.
And we know he is bad. And
he is who we thought he was.
He is who we thought he
PPG.
was.
24.
Let him off the
Alex
hook.
Camp. In my mind, I did 6 points. Add 6 points. You're losing 2 double-digit
Biggest
sacks.
strength.
Overall speed, like I talked about with the linebackers, just quicker across the board.
Cop out.
How? That's a very
position group.
Be be edge rushing. Weakness, depth, and edge rushing.
Oh, I thought you were saying the strength was edge rushing.
No,
and
sorry.
The weakness was edge rushing. I'm like,
Sorry,
wow,
I give you a specific group for
Never heard that one.
strength. Probably will be the secondary, like pass coverage, I would say, because you're going to have athletic linebackers and experienced secondary more so than the defensive line.
Weakness, coaching.
Okay, so you're chopping
For
Jesse
now.
Minter. Okay, so
For
you're
now.
unproven,
Lack of experience.
but Mike McDonald tree maybe. Let's hope he's
I was
better.
skeptical of McDonald last year. He kind of let down in the game that my team played in. So
Yeah, you're gonna view that through a bias line. He was pretty great and everything else. Just the only bad thing
or
was
did you play bad offenses?
was subbing teams on. No, holding Ohio State to under 30 was a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, in the snow.
It's football. It's the
Michigan fans love to hate on weather if it doesn't help them.
Every fan does that.
Well, do they?
Yeah. The Bills versus Patriots game.
Just kidding, man. Just relax. Just relax.
It's football. I'm fired up. Pads are on.
Anything else?
No, I think it's time to talk about Michigan State's defense. Who you guys? Scotty Hazeltine?
Scott Hazelton. He's
Scotty Hazelton will be D coordinator and linebackers. Ross L's no longer linebackers, going to special teams. Brandon Jordan is going to be our pass rush specialist. Marco Coleman
BJ.
is now our defensive line coach.
Okay.
And Mel Tucker will be coaching defensive backs, corners specifically, and Harlan Burnett will only be coaching safeties. So a lot of changes on the defense.
You got quality control guys in there
Did I
too,
get
or
all
what?
that covered, Evan? New D-line coaches. Mel's coaching corners. And Hazelton is coaching linebackers and D
somebody's
coordinator
coaching
and L's is
defensive ends.
special teams.
Brandon Jordan's coaching D.
Brandon
DNs.
Jordan.
No, he's pass rush specialist. There's a difference.
What?
Yes, no,
Evan,
there's a difference.
We only have 2 D-line coaches, and then we have a D-line assistant, Bickerson.
Overall system staying the same this year? Is that the
We don't
general
know.
theme?
I assume it's going to change a little bit.
I assume it's going to stay the same, but I feel like there's going to be a lot more like different
More
like
packages.
packages coming out.
Yeah.
A lot more dime, a
Some
lot more
stand-up
nickel.
edge rushers.
You think so? Let's see.
I
A
think
lot
it's
more,
time.
You'll see a lot more skinny dudes out there.
Okay. So,
We're going to have some stand-up linebackers.
but still Cal
dropping
Halliday,
down.
right?
The boogeyman will still be out there for majority
He's still
of the
going to
downs.
play.
Who
He's
calls
gonna
him
play.
that?
Gus Johnson.
The boogeyman.
Call him the boogeyman?
Yeah, we watched the Michigan game.
Now the coaches call him the boogeyman.
And it's John Wick too, I think.
Cal No Drip.
He's got too many nicknames.
The country boy. Cal No Glove.
Last year's
Obviously-
production. You guys want? Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to replenish it.
No, I got
Because
Grant
there wasn't
stats.
any of it.
How many of your top bucket in order tacklers are returning?
Halliday's back.
Snow.
Snow's back. Henderson's back.
Henderson led the team in tackles, I think, last year.
Yeah, he did.
Gross
And I
is
think
back.
Halliday was second. I would say most of them are back.
Top
The only one
four.
that's not back, I think, is Carr.
Top 4 back.
Crouch.
Top 4 back.
So
yeah,
take
Carr.
Michigan losing the top 4. Michigan State gets the top 4 back. It was like basically all your safeties and Cal
Could you
Halliday.
name the 4?
It was Henderson, Gross, Snow, and Halliday, not in any order, but Henderson definitely
They're
led.
all those guys are going to play a lot still.
Yeah. Top sack leader, gone.
Yeah,
Panashuk,
that's okay.
finally out of my life. The guy
That's
hated.
okay. We didn't
the
like
guy
him either.
hated Michigan. Well, he's a good player. People used to say he's better than Hutchinson. I will never forget that stretch of Twitter when people were
take.
comparing stats. And then you have 5.5 sacks returning in Petrowski. So a little bit more sacks returning.
Dude, Jeff Petrowski's taking a step up, Evan, and you know it.
Okay,
Dude, he's
well, there we go.
he's barely 6 foot.
Let's get into the DN
he's
group.
small.
Well,
He's
if he
gonna be
was
good.
out there, I would be so stubborn as an offensive coordinator. I'm running power 90 times at that kid until he gets
All
off
right,
the
Evan.
field.
Talk about Chris Bogle to Grant. Let's talk about Chris Bogle.
Chucky.
Is that what they call him?
He carries around a
he
Chucky
takes
doll.
pictures with a Chucky doll. He does.
Oh, that's
Super weird.
That's psychotic.
Highly ranked recruit.
Transfer from Florida. Athletic. Edge rusher. He's there for edge rusher. He's not there for basically anything else. Just speed off the edge. Brandon Wright. He's playing. It's his senior year. This is probably like his 9th year at campus. It seems like
Started at running back.
yes
Beefed up. Now he plays defensive end. Evan, over under 5.5 sacks for him.
for Brandon Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Under.
I'm taking the over. Would you like to make a wager?
Who is this guy?
5. You said 5.5.
What is his?
I'll take the under.
I'm just gonna
His
answer
stats are
my own.
none, Grant. This is my shot in the dark call that this guy's going to have over 5.5 sacks.
I mean, you name it.
Well, we can talk about it. We can talk about the debts. A Lannister always pays.
Yes, I do. So there's one side basically. Michael Fletcher. We'd like to see more production out of him. Just a bigger body defensive end.
I don't think he has it.
He's third on the R-Lads depth chart.
What about Tank Brown?
He got changed positions. He's now no longer a defensive end. He's officially a linebacker.
Oh well,
That's not
R-Lads
true,
needs to update that.
That's not true, Evan.
Yes, it is.
No, the depth chart they released earlier is the same one from like 2 years ago. It's not. He's
No,
not.
it updated his roster on the official roster page of Michigan State.
That
Athletics.
roster is not updated. Look at the heights and weights. I'm sorry, but he's not playing linebacker.
A big question I have
I promise.
is a lot of talent you guys are
I forgot
discussing.
you were in practice yesterday.
I was
A lot of
He's
talent.
not playing
Well,
linebacker.
actually, practice started today.
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, Grant.
Really? You guys
8:30.
don't open up till tomorrow?
Yeah.
We had
Mich-
reporting today.
Michigan's one step ahead. I love that. Already
We
in the
practice on the
building.
weekends if we have no days off.
Oh, damn it. Okay, now they're even. With all this talent being brought in, transfer, we know Nicole Auerbach, athletic, she kind of filled the beat writer. She just wrote a story about Mel
Didn't
Tucker's
rate it.
portal process. More talent, Bogle. How will it translate in the edge rushing? Do you guys anticipate a double-digit sack haver for Michigan State this upcoming season? Or more spread out?
Think so.
I
think it'll
don't
be
know
more
if it'll be
spread
one
out.
guy. Yeah.
I mean,
I
we
think
led
it'll
the
be
Big
spread
Ten
out.
in like QB pressures, but it just did not translate to sacks.
We actually had a lot of sacks. The problem was teams passed against us more than any other team in the country, so we had way more opportunities for sacks because of how bad our pass coverage.
Well, we did
and
play
how
the
bad our
three
pass rush
most
was.
pass-heavy offenses in college football last year in Ohio State, Purdue, and Western Kentucky.
And we made Michigan look like they had an aerial attack. So
True. That's where he goes wrong. I think it's just going to be more widespread. I don't think there is a guy. As right now, there's no guy that you see that's like, all right, he's going to be the edge rusher on every third down. That's just pin your ears back and rush the passer.
Now, for the two most talented guys in this unit, the IDL, I would say, not to pump your guys' own tires, but the duo of Barrow and Slade is probably the best duo in the Big Ten of interior defensive linemen.
has to be.
I'm a little ignorant on Penn State and Ohio State's crew right now, but it just Wisconsin maybe just feels like those two guys. From watching them, they're always making plays. If they're both healthy together, it's going to be really hard to run inside zones against Michigan State.
Impossible, really.
Impossible.
I mean, those two, when fully healthy, elite defensive tackles, run stuffers, make plays. Very underrated, honestly. So I'm glad you said that, Grant.
I know ball.
PFF, they love them.
We love PFF.
No, we don't.
Okay. Linebacking core, some questions there. What do you guys thought? My question to kind of lead the discussion. Will the new transfer LB talent go the distance this time and be more consistent than a guy like Corvarius Crouch? That's my big question as an outlook or someone looking into the program.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I want to say.
Okay, then maybe don't say it. That's a good rule, though.
I just think
But you get the question, like,
linebackers
will it
brought
last?
in have better understanding of what is required in a Mel Tucker ran program.
Okay. So better awareness, more veterans.
All around IQ football wise.
Okay.
At least that's my guess. So I think it'll be better. And there's more. There's not just one guy. It's a couple.
The two most additions, if I'm getting this right, are Jacoby Wyndham and Aaron Brule.
Brule.
I like that. What are you guys' thoughts on those two?
Evan.
I think Aaron Brule is probably the dark horse candidate for be like the new upcomer for at least our teams that we cheer for, if not for the Big Ten. I mean, he had a second or third round grade playing in linebacker in the SEC last year. Super talented guy, led the SEC in quarterback pressures, I believe. Just flying under the radar, and Michigan State got this linebacker.
So more of an edge presence linebacker? With that pressure.
He lined up in normal linebacker, your typical 4-3, 4-2, whatever you want to say it, position most of the time, but he will go down on third down, pass rush especially, and he turns the corner very well. Just a guy that just plays in the backfield and runs sideline to sideline very well.
Oh, I love that. You sound like a scout right there.
When we talked about, when I said there'd be more stand-up edge rushers, really what I just meant is Windman and Brule dropping down into the box and rushing off the edge, standing up. I think those two guys are really good at getting to the quarterback, so they'll be like de facto defensive ends. Not really, but they know how to get to the quarterback. Jacoby Windman was all conference for UNLV. I get it's a poopy conference, poopy team, but he's supposed to be very good as well, and he's a freak athlete. His highlight tape is pretty cool. He's got a sick edits tape. You should watch that.
Over 100 tackles last year.
He's a really good football player.
The only thing I can think about, I got distracted by the name. I think Creme Brulee is a no-brainer for Aaron. Creme Brulee. If he's really
Spartan
good,
Twitter accounts tweeted that out when he committed.
If he's really good,
brulee.
We add creme de la creme brulee because he's the best of. So we'll see how his performance unfolds. So, okay, I'm just going off of our lads' depth chart. A lot of plugs for them. I love their depth chart site. So we obviously got Cal. We already talked about. I mean, he's just a steady rock. Like that guy just has already earned his spot.
Cal's that guy.
He's got haters, but he's just going to be there. He doesn't care about haters. Doesn't care about swag. He just makes plays and farms probably. So that's just what Cal Halliday does.
He's a great football player.
Got Windman. Oh, I hate that. Now that you said, I was saying Wyndham, but it's Windman. Brule. They have Darius Snow listed in the linebacker core. Is he going to play in that zone?
Darius Snow is a great football player and is a linebacker this year as well.
Okay. So that's kind of your four.
Moved from nickel to linebacker.
Oh, Ben Van Summer on this depth chart. Love that name.
He's a great special teamer.
That's very diplomatic of you to say. And then the safeties. I mean, God, not to just keep just the. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say that. Just to keep the train going. Angelo Gross, the Honey Weasel. Am I right? Am I in midseason form?
Yes.
Honey Weasel. And Xavier Henderson, just absolute dogs at safety. So are you guys very confident? Alex just made a face. I don't know why he made a face.
I don't love Gross too much. His coverage, he makes a lot of blunders. A lot of missed assignments that lead to big plays. At least last year. I mean, I'm hoping he gets a better grasp. It was his first year at the position, but his coverage worries me a little bit.
Okay, fair.
Evan?
I think the entire second year's coverage worries you a little bit based off of last year.
I trust Henderson to at least be in the right spot.
How are you supposed to stop Aiden O'Connell? You can't stop that, man.
How did you stop David Bell just mossing you half of the time? 50-50 balls. It's just the run first, and it's just a matter of more repetition and getting the coverages down. I think returning guys doesn't hurt. Coach. I think I'm okay with it. Yeah, obviously you just have to fix it.
Yeah,
I do think there's a guy at safety in the waiting that is going to be better than Gross, but it's a different time.
Tate Halleck?
No.
I just looked at the last
Shout
name
out
on
Tate,
the
though. He follows us on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel bad. No, I didn't mean
his
as a
mom
slap.
went to high school with our parents, Alex.
Really?
Yes,
my dad
knows.
my mom did
My
not
parents
go
know the mom, whatever her name is.
Mama. You're talking about Jaden Mangum.
Jaden Mangum.
Because you are the
He's gonna
biggest
play.
like hype guy of like freshmen.
No, he
You
played a lot
love
in the
it.
spring game. I think he's got
Spring
some decent
practice.
buzz.
Okay, good.
Sorry. Whatever. Same thing.
Everyone.
I think he's
going to
be like the clear backup safety, and I think he is more athletic, and he's taller. Gross is a little small.
Okay.
Gross is a downhill. He shouldn't be playing safety. He's that downhill
He's a nickel. He's an
outside linebacker where Darius Snow played last year.
But we have him at safety, and hence why I'm
Position of need.
All right.
Yeah.
When a guy that's willing to tackle and can run sideline to sideline, you had to find a spot for him to play.
Yes, we just need to teach him how to.
Evan's a big sideline to sideline
picked off. What's his name? Picked off King. Yeah, Miami game. Never forget.
Garrett Wilson to just absolutely.
I kind of forgot. I was pretty buzzed, so I did not remember that play when you said it just now.
Oh, it's huge. It was a huge play.
End of the first half while they were driving.
That first half was very boring.
Talk about our SEC corners that are massive.
Yeah, this is Marquis Lowry's room, and
he's actually going to play a lot. But
should he be?
I think he's all right. I really don't think he's bad.
The OSU tape would suggest otherwise, but again, everyone.
A bad game.
Yeah,
that's a bad game.
These guys all would have transferred to EMCC if that was the only game they played last year.
Not Keon Coleman, big touchdown.
I will start with this. Do you guys agree that the two starting corners based on our lads are Amir Speed and Ronald Williams?
No doubt. Would be stunned if otherwise.
What about the hometown hero, Charles Brantley?
He's third, right off the bench. Probably playing. I mean, there's this. I don't know if we're. This is a question for Evan, I guess.
Okay.
Is Brantley going to play the nickel spot in our 4-2-5?
I literally think it's like any corner can probably play out there at any time besides.
Just going to rotate that thing.
Speed will probably be locked down at like
Speed and Williams,
corner.
I think, are outside all the
Williams
time.
can't play. Williams is a big boy. He'd play outside.
Speed's even taller than him.
Oh, he's big boys playing outside.
They're outside corners. They're not.
And so I think everyone else could probably play that nickel corner. Whoever's covering, whoever wants a willing to tackle in the box, because you're going to be facing bigger guys. If you're inside, you're going to face some bigger targets. You're going to face the tight ends or whatnot, the split out tight ends, and those are the ones that run the crossing routes over the middle all the time. Can you chase or can you pick up the guy that's running across?
You got to tackle at the nickel spot a lot too, right?
And then you're playing at the line of scrimmage more often. Like Snow
loves to hit.
Snow was playing that position last year, and he was second on our team or first on our team in tackles. So
I love Snow. I wish he never left the nickel position, but I'm not a coach.
Chester Kimbrough, you talked about him. Hero of the Nebraska game, if my memory serves correct. Sounds like he'll be
not a huge fan of.
Sounds like him and Brantley will probably be vying for that third spot.
Watch out for Marquis.
Watch out for Marquis.
Coaches really like him.
The guy pops.
Yeah.
I wonder. I hope he keeps his hair the same. Number 29.
Dude, could you imagine if he had a pick six this year? The pandemonium from Grant's living room in Minnesota.
The T-shirts that would be designed. Okay, that's that. Impact freshman. Alex already kind of blew his cover on that. Evan, do you have one on the defensive side of the ball that could play?
You look at the secondary. I don't know what Alex was going to go with his second guy, but like if you look at the secondary and how bad we were last year, if people don't produce and like you're not going to be able to cover, I think almost anybody has a chance to play in the secondary. So like there's freshmen available. There's the Wiley and Malik Spencer. I think he's a safety.
Oh, Willie. You got Malik Spencer, Dylan Tatum, Willie,
Caleb Cooley. So there's a chance for any of those guys that you see action in games. Because last year our secondary got just depleted with injuries, so we were going down to
we didn't even have any
redshirt walk-on playing.
That was brutal.
So I would start there with just any secondary guy has a chance.
That feels right, because the other guy that would have a chance, not in the secondary, would be Ben's better half, Alex Van Sumeren. But it's hard.
Our highest recruit.
It's hard to play. It's hard to play interior defensive line as a freshman in the Big Ten. It's just you got to be really good.
Especially the dudes here behind are all Big Ten. So
yeah.
It's going to be tough to crack that lineup.
So, yeah, it'll probably be one of those secondary guys. Even if it's just on special teams, they make a play. So,
do we even have any linebackers or not really?
No
edge rushers.
Quavian.
Young edge rushers that are
sorry,
just-
that's actually right.
Zion Young. I saw a video of Zion Young, and I actually texted Alex and Luke, and I was like, who is this guy? Because this guy is ginormous. He was standing next to Alex Van Summeren. Van Summeren's a defensive tackle, 300 pounds, and this dude could have been just the camera angle of how it was positioned. This guy was massive.
He's a defensive end, but
it's like one of those guys like in high school, like you have Zion Young be the first one off the bus and just walk out onto the field.
everyone just gets scared.
Yes. It was one of those situations.
All right.
Mangum.
PPG, not the Paints.
How bad was it last year?
In meaningful games. 26 points per game.
Ooh. Gotta get better by 2 points. I was saying 24.
Is what you expect this year. I might just be drinking Kool-Aid. I think it's be 21.
I love you, Grant. Yes.
I wanted to go low, but I thought that I'd get a slappy bias on me.
Yes.
I think, like, as it
kind of
goes,
be better, Evan.
What I expect.
Yes, I agree, Alex, but there's also certain situations. Did we think Cade McNamara will throw for damn near 400 yards against us? No. Like,
we didn't think our corners were that bad.
We were blinded by the results. We were blinded by the wins. We were blinded by our record. We just mashed over it. Be like, oh, we faced Western Kentucky.
I think we kind of talked about it each week.
I think what it was.
Yeah, but we self-talked ourselves into it. Be like, okay, we faced Western Kentucky. Our teams are down by a lot, so they're throwing a lot. One of those situations. And we just talked ourselves out of the actual facts of what was going on in the secondary.
This feels different.
The facts were, and it was a valid point, was like you guys had bend don't break tattooed on your chest, where it was you guys were like highest yards given up, but got some puck luck and some good stops, earned stops in the red zone. And then water finally found its level where like the splash plays started hitting as well, and then teams were converting in the red zone. And it was like, oh, crap.
And then you were just absolutely bleep.
But there was a real stretch at the beginning of the year where it was like this team just hunkers down in the red zone and they give up field goals.
There's more talent. I think it's that simple. And there's more depth, and that's what you need. Because there was a million injuries, too, at the end of last year that caused a lot of problems as well. And I think we're better suited for injuries this year. On paper.
Yeah.
All of it's on paper.
I mean, our schedule against quarterbacks, I still don't like it. First two games, not worried about it.
Some heavy hitters in there.
I mean, anytime you're facing a Power 5 team in prime time on the road, you never feel really good about it.
I'm worried about
it. If it's Penix, though. Are you talking about
yeah, Washington Penix.
Penix in Mel's first year, 20 straight completions. And a pick to Shakur Brown.
I just don't see it. Yeah, he's just not.
I mean, luckily we get Minnesota at home. It's Tanner Morgan. Kirk Shiraka returns for them, though.
Whoa, this is not a Minnesota fan account, Evan.
They are a run first.
They hate their coach. They don't like
to play for PJ.
Certain players.
They don't like PJ Fleck. There's actually a lot of dirty little rumors out there.
They do have Mo Ibrahim back, and Tanner Morgan's in years 36.
No. Tanner Morgan is Sean Clifford tier. So that is, yeah.
He stinks.
Yeah. He had some good NFL wide receivers that made him look sweet for a year.
The good thing, this defense is going to be better. Grant said it, and he is not biased.
No, I'm also trying to hedge my bets because I was so down on Michigan State last year that I'm just trying to do the old reverse. This team's going to be nice. No, but what I really deep down think
is going to be nice.
What I really deep down think is Michigan, compared to Michigan's offense, is going to be better. Michigan State's defense is going to be better, and it's all going to be somewhere in the middle. And Alex is going to disagree with me.
Couldn't disagree more.
That's the beauty of the podcast. But
I think Michigan State's better at everything except special teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you guys still
there?
Jake Moody and our punter.
Yeah. Moody.
Oh,
my God.
Moody.
But we have the best punter in the Big Ten.
No. Brad Robbins is an absolute wagon.
Okay, Bryce Behringer is also a wagon, so we have great punters. Good for us.
Our special teams
we don't
will
have
win.
A kicker.
Special teams will win Michigan
at
at least.
Kicker.
You have a
freshman.
freshman.
We have a guy that's never made a kick.
You have a freshman.
Yeah, can't wait to lose a game on a field goal.
I think your guys is
Jack Stone.
Just looking at the schedule, I think we'll get to the schedules at a different time, but I think the schedule quarterback wise isn't as bad as you think, Evan.
I'm not worried about it.
Alex isn't worried about it.
I think this team's good. And I think they deserve to be told
You're
they're
going to be competitive.
Oh, you're going to be good.
Competitive.
You're right in the thick of it.
I think
You're not going to beat Ohio State, though.
The weakness
That's
that came,
all you have to do.
which is huge for us long term. But anyways, the weakness that I kind of gathered from what you guys talking is, unless things change in the secondary, the strength is going to be run stopping with that middle funnel of Slade and Barrow to the safeties.
Cal Halliday dripping in down there in the middle.
Weakness passing again. But maybe it'll be better.
Mel Tucker is coaching corners. That is not an underrated thing. That should be talked about.
Well, you're not going to read that in The Athletic. I'll tell you that.
Well, because we can't read anything in The Athletic, Grant, because there are no beat writers for Michigan State anymore.
True.
Because Michigan paid for them not to be employed.
Colton left for bigger and brighter things.
The Lions are really bigger and better.
To be honest, Nick Baumgartner, from what I've seen, I don't know if he's going to switch back when Michigan starts. He's been only Lions right now, and he's the best Michigan beat writer. They do have Austin Meek in the wings if they need him, but
Austin Meek does all your athletic stuff.
No, well, yeah, they both do, but Nick Baumgartner wrote like 120 comment pieces last year. Like, he was the guy. All right. I also want to, before we fully sign off, I want to acknowledge longtime listener Jason sent in a question today. So a couple questions. They were Michigan State basketball related, so I was going to sit on them for a little bit. We'll have another slower episode. We'll have another slower episode before football starts. We can answer some of those, but he also said he'd like to come on the show. So now we have 2 requests to come on the show, and I think Jason has earned it. He's really gone to work each week and submitted questions when no one else does. He did acknowledge that he keeps the listener questions afloat, which I want him to be a little bit more humble than that. But the kid has definitely earned.
For a while, there were a lot of questions. They have dropped off.
He's earned it for sure.
He's carrying it.
So we'll get him on. We'll figure out how to we'll get Cam on, and we'll roll. So that's episode 82. That is Michigan State defense. Follow us everywhere on @shotofms. I'm going to be honest. This is telling you guys this now. I'm really going to lean into Twitter and Instagram more because TikTok just no one interacts with us on there anymore. We had a nice little run. The algorithm hates us. So I'm just going to really lean into Twitter and Instagram where our base is.
People love us on Twitter.
Where our base is.
Let's just be honest.
So really follow us on there for clips, graphics, all that stuff. Evan won the breakfast draft easily. Just wasn't ever even close as we knew.
I did have a big debate about that with several people about the biscuits and gravy, and it was pretty split.
Your picture the next morning was not doing you justice.
No, Cody did it on purpose.
Oh, come on.
I had to tweet it out.
Yeah. Man, your word. @shotofms everywhere. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Where to listen. With all that being said, cheers to close out episode 82.
Cheers.
To Michigan State basketball recruiting.
Cheers to Wyatt coming home on Tuesday.
Thank you for serving our country.
Evan always has the best cheers.
On the next episode. So if you see him, say hi.
Salute him.
We can have him come on next episode.
Don't just say hi. Salute the man.